Today, we're diving into something truly groundbreaking, an AI system that's built to be an on-demand assistant for governments. The goal? To help them make better, faster, and way more data-driven decisions for all of us. So how are we going to break this down? First, we'll look at the huge data problem governments are wrestling with right now. Then, we'll introduce the GDI agent as the fix. After that, we'll peek under the hood at the AI team that makes it all work. And finally, we'll see how this could literally change the game for public services. Okay, so let's set the stage. We need to start with the core problem this whole thing was built to solve. See, governments are basically drowning in data, but the real challenge is turning that flood of information into actual, meaningful action. I mean, just think about it. Public departments, we're talking healthcare, education, you name it, are sitting on absolute mountains of data. And all that information holds the keys to solving some really complex challenges. But, just having the data is only step one. Because here's the catch. They run into some major roadblocks. The data is all over the place, totally fragmented. A lot of the time, there just aren't enough people with the right skills to analyze it. And believe it or not, so many departments are still stuck using old-school, manual workflows in Excel. That means getting a simple report can take weeks, sometimes even months. So what's the big deal? What actually happens when all this incredibly valuable data gets stuck in a logjam like that? What does it mean for regular people? Well, it all boils down to this. Delays in analysis lead directly to delays in decision-making. And that means huge missed opportunities to step in during a crisis, it means wasted resources, and ultimately it's a failure to improve the public services that we all rely on every single day. All right, so now that we get the problem, let's turn to the really exciting part, the powerful new solution designed to tackle this challenge head-on. So here it is, the GDI agent, which stands for Government Data Insight Agent. Now, this isn't some super complex piece of software that you need a PhD to use. Instead, I want you to think of it more like a dedicated AI assistant, ready to go, on demand, for any government official who needs to make sense of their data, like right now. And the difference here is just night and day. On one side, you've got the old way of doing things, manual, slow, taking weeks. And on the other, you have the GDI agent, automated, immediate, and delivering insights in a matter of minutes. This is a total game changer for how government can operate. Okay, this is where it gets really, really cool. Let's pop the hood and see how this AI assistant actually gets the job done so fast. You see, the secret sauce here is that the GDI agent isn't just one big monolithic AI, it's what's called a multi-agent system. That just means it's a team of specialized AIs that all work together, each with a very specific job to do, kind of like a highly efficient human team. And here are the core members of that team. First, you've got the manager, who's basically the project lead telling everyone what to do. Then the profiler jumps in to clean up the messy raw data and get it ready for analysis. Next up is the analyst. This is the data scientist of the group, digging in to find all those hidden trends and patterns. And finally, the writer takes all that complex stuff and puts it into a simple, clear summary that anyone can understand. And here's how that whole team plays together. It starts when an official just uploads a data file. Right away, the manager agent maps out the whole workflow. The other agents get to work, cleaning, analyzing, and visualizing the data. The system then turns those findings into actual, actionable ideas, and the whole thing gets packaged up by the writer agent into a polished, easy-to-read report. Okay, so the tech is super impressive, for sure. But what does this actually look like out in the real world? Let's talk about some of the applications where this could make a massive difference. First up, let's talk about public health. The potential impact here is just incredible. So instead of waiting weeks for data on a disease outbreak, officials could literally map it in near real time. The system could actually predict which neighborhoods are most at risk and even suggest specific public health campaigns to get ahead of the problem. We're talking about a huge shift from reactive crisis management to proactive prevention. Now, let's look at another area that affects all of us, education. This is a perfect example of how data can create real equity. The GDI agent could instantly analyze performance data to spot things like student dropout patterns. It could pinpoint schools that are struggling and need more support, and help officials figure out exactly where to put precious resources, like teacher training programs. It's about getting help to where it's needed most. And really, if you want to boil it all down, this one line from the project's own blueprint just says it all. The point isn't just about being fast for the sake of being fast. It's about closing that gap between getting data and making a decision, letting governments respond to our needs at the speed the modern world actually moves. So, what's the bottom line? This is about more than just a cool new piece of tech. It really represents a fundamental shift toward a more responsive, a more efficient, and an evidence-based way of governing, where big decisions are backed by hard data, not just intuition. And that leaves us with a pretty powerful final thought to chew on. If a dedicated AI team can help transform healthcare and education, what other massive public challenges could we tackle next? Think about things like sanitation, infrastructure, social welfare. The possibilities are just huge.